Their support and great contributions have really enabled this youth-led organization to take off the ground and play its rightful quota to not only the development of the country, but humanity in general. Our successes and achievements that we count today could not have been possible without the generous contributions of these partners, who share the strong view that young people must be supported to bring about the much needed change in the society. This award ceremony was seen as a fitting tribute to the American volunteers and their host, not only in recognition of their efforts, but in addition to their strong passion and commitments to the welfare of others. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
Well, for more news and other GRTS programs, you can visit our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Well, that takes us to our very first break. The news continues in just a moment.
Every young person has a dream to build a career path, a dream to be successful. The avenue to the world of success is built by passion, patience, sacrifice, drive, and motivation. In this TV series, presenter Abdullah Baji would be meeting successful individuals to talk us through how they made it to the peak, and also offer expertise counseling to youth who aspire to become successful, develop, and transform our beloved country. Issues confronting the sense of development of the young would also be discussed.
Join me every Monday at 19:15 GMT. I'm your host, Abdullah Baji.
Welcome back. Those who escaped with their lives intact in the Colorado massacre by suspect James Horns are trying to process the unimaginable violence they witnessed. This report by CNN looks at the chilling account of a man who played dead to survive.
There may still be somebody actively shooting.
And then he pulled out a shotgun. I could see it clear as day. And then he just opened fire on the front rows. I watched 2 shots. He shot once, and it just lit up the theater. And then he cocked and shot again.
In those seconds, Pierce O'Farrell came face to face with a killer. When the gunman entered the theater, he was no more than 30 feet away from O'Farrell.
He seemed very methodical. He never once said a word. I never heard a single word out of him.
Within seconds, the gunman turned the weapon on O'Farrell and his friend.
And he said, Pierce, I'm shot, man, I'm shot. I said, me too, just stay down. And then he shot me a second time.
The gunfire seemed to go on forever. O'Farrell feared his life would not.
I thought he was going to kill me.
O'Farrell lay motionless on the floor of the theater, hoping the gunman would take him for dead.
And he was standing literally directly above me. I could feel his boot right next to my head, and I just had my face down on the ground, and I just stayed as still as I possibly could, and I prayed, and he fired off a couple more rounds, and then he left.
Pierce O'Farrell is dealing with wounds to his leg and shoulder that will heal. It's the pain he feels for others that may never heal.
And that's what I think about all those poor people that didn't make it.
Less than 24 hours after getting shot in the neck, Stephen Barton describes a scene like no reality he had ever experienced before.
Yeah, well, so after I got hit, I fell to the ground. I was just waiting for the shooting to stop. And the thought really passed my mind that, like, this is not actually happening. It was hard to believe it even when it was happening. And so, I mean, on some level, I guess I realized, there's a shooter in the theater and he's killing people. But on another level, I guess I didn't really want to believe it.
From his Colorado hospital bed, Barton says the theater shooter during the Batman premiere was deliberate and purposeful.
It was cold and calculated, definitely. It seemed very methodical.
Barton and his friend Ethan were just making a quick one-night stop in Aurora as they took a summer bike trip across America. They just wanted to catch a movie, having no idea their bike trip would end like one.
It seems like something that never happens to real people. It happens to people in the paper who you don't know, and because there's a 1 in a million chance that it'll ever happen to you.
In the shelter of the Olympic Park in East London, one man training others in a violent non-Olympic sport is working towards reclaiming minds previously bent towards terrorism. CNN's Nick Robertson has more on this report.
Usman Raja knows how to win a fight. A master trainer, he gets the best out of his charges.
Straight out with that right hand, Dave.
Cage fighting is violent, bloody and mostly white. Raja has no problem fitting in. Abu Bakr Mansha, who recently finished his prison sentence for terrorist offences, is an eager student.
He's obviously teaching me stuff. I have to learn, you know. I want to learn this stuff, whatever he tells me, you know.
Through fists and feet, Raja is drawing him away from radicals.
The first aspect that you challenge is his idea of himself.
In jail, Mansha was one of the toughest. In Raja's gym, he's not. Cage fighting is softening him up, allowing Raja to shake Mansha's self-confidence, and that in turn helps Raja to challenge his militant mindset through intense intervention conversations away from the ring.
What you're doing is you're taking the individual and recontextualizing all of his experiences now. Take away someone's hate and they feel liberated.
Having the right people around you as well, you know. Push in the right direction, you know, your force, they change, you know, your mind opens up. And, you know, you get the knowledge, the proper knowledge.
Well, we now take another break. We'll be right back. Well, from that short break, a reminder of our top stories before we go. President Jammeh has stated that the Gambia is encouraged to attain the envisaged economic superpower status. Players in the hospitality industry have benefited from another capacity enhancement exercise designed to scale up the quality of service delivered to tourists. A survivor of the Colorado cinema attack that claimed at least a dozen lives has been recounting his horrible experience, and a London resident is using a violent non-Olympic sport to win back minds previously focused on mass murder. Well, you can also follow the day's stories and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS radio live. Well, that's all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company and enjoy the rest of the day.
If you have any questions that you want answered during the holy month of Ramadan, all you have to do is to send us a text on the following numbers: AfriCell on 2020 200, QCell 3030 300, Chromium 60 60 600, or on the Gamcell line on 999 0909. Your questions answered this Ramadan on GRTS.